Hello and welcome to another Diablo 4 episode here on the Mole RP channel. My name is Chaosmole and today we talk about all the things you have to know before the release of Diablo 4 and to be better prepared for the release of the game. Before we do this, please don't forget to leave a like at the end of the video if you enjoyed it. And also, if you really enjoy my content, please consider to subscribe to the channel. We are doing more Diablo 4 content here on the channel, like a weekly podcast a lot of people enjoy. Plus, and later down this year, we will also focus a little bit more on Starfield. Now, enough chit chat, let's jump into the topic. The things you have to know before the release of Diablo 4. First things first, when does this game actually come out? I'm so confused by this, Mo. I see different dates, different times, like what is going on here? The answer is actually pretty simple. There are two release dates, the 2nd of June and the 6th of June. And depending on which edition you bought, you will be able to jump into early access or not early access. So the $90 premium edition will net you the release date of June the 2nd. If you just bought the standard edition, you will be able to play on June the 6th. But Mo, I also saw June 1st and June 5th. What's going on with that? Well, the answer is also pretty simple here. Time zones. Depending on which time zone you're living in, you can play a little bit earlier. Let's say we are taking June 1st, which is the first day of early access, and you're living in the American time zone, like 4 p.m. Pacific time or 7 p.m. East Coast time are the two time zones when you can start to play Diablo 4 in America. Now, if you're living in Europe, then it would be the 6th because the first release time is at 12 a.m. midnight GMT in Europe, and that would be 1 a.m. Central European time for like another time zone in Europe. So it's just time zones. It's still the same dates, and yes, that also goes for the 5th and the 6th. The times are not changing. Start time is the times I just mentioned. And it's pretty easy actually to understand. Now, the next question I see is, okay, cool, really looking forward to play this. I will level through the game super quickly to get into endgame. Do I have to play the missions? Do I have to play through the story campaign? And the answer is yes. Yes, you do. You have to finish the story campaign before you can get into the endgame. There is no way around it. But good news, the first time you have done that, you don't have to do it ever again. The game is remembering that and is just allowing you to do all the side activities instead without having to touch the main story. So they're doing something very similar to what they did with the adventure mode in Diablo 3. So when you have done that, you can just do dungeons, you can just do events, you don't have to touch the story with any of the other characters who are coming afterwards. And the same goes for seasons. That is one of the aspects which will remain whenever even a new season starts. So you don't have to do the story over and over again every time a new season starts. That is not gonna happening. The same is of course true for the Lilith statues. You just have to find them once, you get the perks from that, and then you are good, even when the new season starts. Now, of course, you can still get some extra XP from that, so some people will try to find them anyways. Oh yeah, speaking of new seasons and stuff, Mo, so Season 1 starts with the release of the game, right? No, they do not. Season 1 is starting the mid of July to the end of July. We don't really have an exact date, but Blizzard has made it very clear that it will not happen before the mid to end July. So you still have, 1.5 months for Season 0, so to speak. So there will be no Season Pass. There will just be the item shop. There will no special events be in the game. And this will be your standard character. And when you go into a season, then they will announce this. And keep in mind that after a season is over, you will keep your character. I see some people who have been confused about this and who thought that when the season is over, that character would just get deleted. That is not the case. Those characters will just be transformed into standard characters and you can still play them afterwards, right? That's how they have been doing it in Diablo 3. Like Path of Exile is doing the same thing. So you will not lose your character, you will not lose your work. Don't you worry about it. So the next thing we have to talk about, which I have been seeing a lot of people asking, is when do I get my mount? Oh my god, I hate walking. When do I get my mount? And there has been some misinformation going around that topic. In a developer's interview, they said that you will basically have to finish the main quest for the mounts to be unlocked. And a lot of people thought, oh, okay, so I have to finish the main story of the game to actually unlock my mount. In reality, that's not the case. What they meant with that is there is a main quest which is actually for the mount, which is called Mount Donan's Favor. That's the main quest you have to do. And that quest will unlock around level 30 in probably Act 3. I assume this will be around level 3. But yeah, at level 30, the main quest will unlock so that you can actually get your mount. You do not have to reach the end game to unlock your mount, as a lot of people have been expecting from the commentary, because thankfully then later on Twitter, Blizzard came forth and was like, no, you misunderstood us. You do not have to finish the game. You don't have to finish the end quest or anything. There will be a specific quest which will unlock at level 30. Speaking of unlocking things, so I have played the beta. Where are my characters? Where's my equipment? Well, if you haven't known about this, it's all gone. All your stuff is gone. It has been deleted. The only thing you keep are the challenges Blizzard gave you to achieve in the betas they have been running. So there was the title, which you would get at level 20, and then there was the Wolf's Pup, which you would get at level 25 or level 20 respectively in the Server Slam. And then for the Server Slam beta, you could get the horn, which is like an amulet thingy you could put on the side of your horse, and you had to defeat the world boss in the Server Slam beta at level 20. And it is very important, if you have beaten the world boss in the open betas, that do not count. It had to be the Server Slam, and it had to be at level 20. So that's very important. And I know a lot of people have not been able to do that. Now the next question is, will there be a possibility to gain that horn in the full release of Diablo 4? And the answer is, we do not know. I wouldn't be too surprised by it. Like, Blizzard likes to put those events in later on where you can just try to get these items again you couldn't get before. And the times where Blizzard has been pretty adamant about not allowing people to ever regain an item when the event was over has been abandoned a few years ago. So maybe they're bringing this whole concept back, but I wouldn't be too surprised if at some point you can still get the horn through other means, because I know that people have been quite pissed about it. So we will see. But right now, no, there is no other way to gain it, at the beginning at least, of Diablo 4. Now the next thing I've been seeing quite a bit is, will there be PvP in the release of Diablo 4? Yes, actually there will be quite a bit of PvP, and I will have an extra video just tomorrow when we are talking about all the things PvP. So if you are interested in that, keep an eye out on my channel for that specific video. But yeah, you will be able to do PvP at around level 30, but let's be honest here, regulation and also balance of PvE is basically non-existent. Blizzard has been already warning us. And also don't forget, if you're playing on a hardcore server, if you die in PvP, you are dead. That's it. No second chance. You are just gone. So keep that in mind. But I will, again, make an extra video about that tomorrow. Now, the next big question I see quite a bit is, oh man, I'm new to this. I'm a complete noob. Do I need a build guide? Do I need a leveling guide? What's going on? So this would normally be the plugin of talking about the guides, the leveling guides I have on my channel. But no, actually, you do not need a guide. You can just play for yourself, especially if you're on World Tier 1 and you are just playing the story missions, you are completely fine. Now, of course, later on, you have to think a little bit what you want to accomplish with your build. But still, I would say you do not need a build on the internet, because this is not Path of Exile. It's not as deep as Path of Exile or even Last Epoch. And even then, let's say you screw something up, your build is completely shit, and you can just click a button and fix everything. Like you just erase the build from existence and you start anew. It costs you maybe 10 minutes at best to do all your skill points again and test out things. So if you're somebody who likes to try out new stuff and is just going with homebrew builds, Diablo 4 is very open to that. Now, of course, I'm not telling you not to look for builds. I'm not looking you not for look for guides. I'm not telling you not to look for guides, right? Like how you are playing a game, that is completely up to you. But I would be the last person to tell you how to do it. But do you have to? No, because the game is pretty forgiving. Now, with that said, this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you still have some questions, or maybe if there are some people who want to point out something, let me know down below in the comments. And as I said, please don't forget to like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet and you want to see more Diablo 4 content and, of course, some Starfield later down the road. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I see you next time. Stay safe. Bye-bye.